Welcome to my 9th video of the Combat Mission Scottish Corridor campaign, covering Operation Epsom. It's 19:10 hours on Thursday the 29th of June. Earlier today, the 2nd Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders successfully repelled a probing attack by the 21st SS on our defences at Gavras, just south of the River Odon. We're still stationed at Gavras, and we've had reports that a second attack force is approaching the village from the south. It appears this is a concerted counter-attack by the 21st, attempting to kick us out of Gavras and to push the 2nd back north over the Odon. Intel suggests Jerry is reinforced with armour, including Panzer IV, and consists of a strong infantry force. B Company is already deployed, defending the southern routes into the village. C Company is on its way to reinforce, with platoons expected to arrive over the next 5 to 15 minutes. Together with the two companies, a total of 6 platoons, I have a number of support units assigned from battalion. These include 2-towed 6-pounder AT guns, a HMG section, and 2 Bren carrier platoons. The soldiers' experience is mixed, approximately 50-50 between regular and green. Morale is okay, though the green troops do quickly become shaken in heavy combat. I also have a forward observer team, a couple of target reference points, and off-map support from 81mm and 102mm mortars. A 25-pounder field artillery is being allocated, ETA around 20 minutes. It's dusk, with the weather and line of sight good. If we look at the AO and terrain in detail, we are looking west, with north to our right and south to our left. Battalion have assigned 2 key objectives. Don John includes the stone bridge over the River Odon and the fields to the north and south. The second key location is identified as the gatehouse. It's actually several houses either side of the main road leading to the Odon bridge. The house on the right side of the road would provide Jerry with excellent hard cover and firing arcs against my right defence, so this is a priority for me to hold. I anticipate the 21st to attack using similar routes to their attack earlier today, identified by the red lines. At the bottom of the map, my left flank, it's the primary road. I fully expect this to be a main avenue of attack. I've put out some picket forces to the front to try and identify the main avenue of attack so I can manoeuvre my primary defence line against the second blockage line. I expect the 21st to have artillery, and my 6-pounders are only deployable at objective Don John. Rather than try and manoeuvre and set up in the opening minutes, I've set them up to cover the deeper defence in 2 keyhole positions. I shall fall back based upon fire superiority and casualty rates, drawing Jerry onto my artillery TRPs. A concern is my left flank. Several of the courtyards and gardens are walled with only one entrance and exit. I have no demolition charges, so any garrisoned forces are basically trapped in the building for the duration of the battle. The orange lines denote my defensive lines and how I intend to fall back. The white lines show my picket lines, where I anticipate calling in my initial off-map mortar support fire once my pickets have confirmed Jerry's avenues of attack. I have 60 minutes, with some extra time to hold Gavras against these veteran Panzer Grenadiers. So let's go throw some lead at Jerry. I start by withdrawing the B Company HQ and reinforcing the gatehouse on the left-hand side of the main highway. A German artillery barrage starts to fall across my picket forces. take my first casualty. Some of my frontline defence starts to fall back. The 21st quickly engage anyone they see, and I start to spot a larger advancing force on my right flank. A Bren carrier moves up to cover the main road. And he has the good sense to withdraw when he spots a Panzer IV. The 21st advance towards the gatehouse. And they're engaged by my picket forces. It looks like the German engineers blow the blockage. I quickly start to withdraw the picket forces, as my own artillery starts to fall. The 21st quickly push up to my picket lines. It's 1920 hours, 10 minutes into battle. I've already identified two main avenues of the 21st attack. The 21st are winning fire superiority, and I'm struggling to hold the first defensive line. I've set up a second defensive line on my right flank to try and hold that area. The 21st have advanced right onto my artillery lines, my mortar barrage lines. Again, I'm hoping this will cause some casualties and disrupt their advance. I failed to correctly spot their attack on my right flank. Three Section 14 platoon pay the price for my inattention. My light barrage continues as I try to pin the 21st against my picket line. I've spotted one Panzer IV. But at this juncture, I have no counter to it. A second Panzer IV with infantry support starts to attack my right flank. I repel the infantry, but my pier has no line of sight. A detachment guarding the track on the right flank is suddenly engaged, and I make the decision to withdraw from my first defensive line. I make a fatal mistake. The soldiers and sections in the centre had been hidden. As they reveal themselves to withdraw, they are ambushed by Germans on the other side of the bocage. Platoon, 1 and 3 sections take heavy casualties. It's a rookie error. With no covering fire, 12th Platoon was shot in the back by the 21st. I try to lay smoke to support their retreat, but it's too little too late. On my left flank, I start to withdraw 10 platoon. Lance Corporal Gray, now in charge of one section, stages a fighting withdrawal. He leads by example. The entire platoon covers his withdrawal. "20 minutes into battle, my defensive line has changed dramatically. 12 platoon, with the HMG support, trying to hold the gatehouse. Meanwhile 10 platoon are falling back on my left flank. The 21st have outmanoeuvred me on my right flank and have caught me in enfilade fire, so I've had to pull back. I'm trying to adjust my artillery fire and walk with the 21st as they push against the gatehouse. I anticipate losing the gatehouse and look for a deeper defence position. At this point in time, I'm not entirely sure where that is. We're under pressure, but the second isn't down yet. The rest of C Company, 14 and 15 platoon, arrive at the AO. They move to reinforced objective Don John. Without warning, Jerry artillery starts to fall on objective Don John. I suffer casualties across infantry and support sections. The 21st start to assault the gatehouse objective. My hold on the eastern gatehouse is tenuous. The 21st quickly occupy the western gatehouse, and I use as much Bren and HMG gunfire as possible to suppress. The 21st continue to reinforce their hold on the gatehouse. Finally, battalion artillery starts to fall. "30 minutes into the battle, and fighting for objective gatehouse is fierce. I've broken this primary objective into 4 smaller objectives. I've identified gatehouse left, gatehouse rear, Brockhage rear, and gatehouse right. I currently hold a defensive line across the 3 objectives, Brockhage rear, gatehouse rear, and gatehouse left, whilst the 21st have secured gatehouse right. I have called in mortar and an artillery barrage from battalion on 3 objectives: the gatehouse right, the orchard to the west of gatehouse right, and then the tree line to the west of objective Don John. My goal is to interdict any further advance against my west flank and try and pound gatehouse right so that I can force them to either manoeuvre out or attempt an assault to retake it. Gatehouse left has Bren carrier support. The AT section spot a German half-track. A command half-track is spotted manoeuvring behind the HMG. Sergeant Morris of 2 Section AT skewers both half-tracks. Meanwhile, 1 Section, 15 Platoon attempt a skirmish attack. They catch soldiers from the 21st in open terrain in the Western Orchard. Inflicting heavy casualties before they quickly withdraw. A third half-track is spotted as it manoeuvres behind gatehouse right. A 4-tube light barrage falls down the gatehouse right. Meanwhile, the 25-pounder barrage falls on the western side of objective Donjon. My goal with this fire is to interdict any potential advance through the tree line. Meanwhile, the 21st seem to be reinforcing their hold on gatehouse right. A fourth armoured car is spotted, but the AT guns have no line of sight. Three Section and the Bren team from 15th Platoon attempt a second skirmish attack. They catch the 21st in the open a second time. 40 minutes into battle, and we still hold three key elements of the objective gatehouse. The 21st have reinforced gatehouse right with various armour elements, so I abandon any attempt to assault and I resort to skirmish fighting and bombarding the hell out of them. The barrage is close, and I do suffer some friendly casualties, but it's pinning the 21st and preventing them from advancing. The 25-pounder barrage to the west of objective Donjon seems to be doing the same. More armour is spotted. 15 Platoon, the HMG section and 4 section carrier support fight to hold Brockhard's right. The soldiers are tired and shaken, and not everyone holds the line. Fighting is fierce and bloody. B and C Company are not the only ones with battalion mortar support. The 21st start to pound my rearguard area. The fight for the gatehouse objective suddenly intensifies as a Panzer IV turns up. Soldiers and armour scrabble for cover. Piat teams open fire, but the armour skirts protect the panzer. Another Piat hit on protective plating. Finally, the shape mortar round burns through the hull and the crew bail. Two-section 10 platoon continue to hold and defend gatehouse left. In the last minutes of the battle, the 21st attempt a full assault on the gatehouse objective. Gatehouse left, gatehouse rear and bockard right are all engaged. Pack half-track trundles down the road, firing upon the defenders. Thankfully, the Panzer IVs seem to be holding their ground. In the closing seconds, Piat takes out the HT. The SS suddenly surrender and withdraw, and I get a totally unexpected British Army total victory. Because the SS surrendered, I secured both of the ground objectives. I inflicted sufficient casualties on the SS, but also suffered heavy casualties myself. The 21st failed to achieve any of their three objectives and got 180 points for casualties inflicted. The SS suffered approximately 300 casualties, around 80% of their force. What's worth noting is the high death rate, over 200 casualties. We're victors, surprisingly so I'm going to look at the AO. Usual, look at the bottom left hand corner for the kill stats. Okay, so we've got no tags on our right flank, the western side, attacking objective Donjon. So let's have a look over here. This area was bombarded by 25 pounders for probably around 25 to 30 minutes of the battle, so that's half of the battle. So there's a fair amount of casualties here. Looks like at least a platoon, maybe more. With the continuous barrage, it's not really surprising that there's not that many injured here. Most of them have been killed either from repeated shells or shrapnel. So basically no survivors on this flank. Okay, so it's more than a platoon, maybe a company. We see a German TRP, so let's move to objective Gatehouse. Looking at some of the surviving armour, Panzer IV, another Panzer IV, but it's dismounted, destroyed half-track. And here's the pack half-track that was destroyed, and the two half-tracks that were skewered, and the Panzer IV that seems to be, I'm not sure whether it's stuck there on the main highway. This crossroads was also a bit of a killing field. Let's have a look at some of the Allies. So both of those teams inflicted double-digit casualty rates. Not much damage done here by the teams guarding Gatehouse rear. The Vickers, again, not a huge number of casualties. And here, 15 platoon that did the skirmishing on the Brocharge line. Again, a number of casualties, but not a huge number. The casualty rates aren't specifically low. They're kind of what we've seen through the campaign, but I'm just trying to understand where the big numbers, the 300 casualties, where they're coming from. Okay, so let's have a look at the forward observer. Okay, 71. I've not seen a number that big before, so I'm guessing that was a large percentage of the casualties he was calling in around objective Gatehouse. And the second battery caller, wow, okay, right, 127. Okay, I'm usually happy if I get into double digits. He called in the artillery barrage on western side, so that's where the casualties came from, pretty much all artillery. Thank you to everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will try and get the other videos out as quickly as possible. I am committed to finishing the campaign, so please stay with me on my channel. So as soon as the videos are done, I will be posting them. Thanks again for watching, and see you all again soon.